Hello and welcome to today's BoldTrail Academy. Steve Hillier, Alex Dyer. Steve, how's your week been?
Week's been fantastic, actually. We had some great trainings, and now we're diving into these great behavioral signals. So let's get it rolling.
Yeah. This session here, we're going to focus on the Streams app. And so I just put this out there. The Streams app is available on iPhone. For Android users, it's not available. My quickest fix for that is to go get an iPhone. My
I'll second that.
That's my 2 cents. So before we get started, I just want to go back and remind you guys that we are on the school platform. This is where I'm posting my content. I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the discussion to join the school platform. If you're not a member yet, it is, as Johnny Jennings says, it is free 99.
It's free 99.
Doesn't cost you anything. You just join. You just
And I
join.
think I think we're at 375. I think is it our week to get to 400?
Yeah, 375. You're growing by about 25 members.
What happened?
Who was that?
Someone's got to get off mute.
And so join the school platform
We need that guy under.
within the classroom. I did a full breakdown of Krista Mayshore's growth formulas and also gave you the growth formulas in these documents. So Krista broke down several different ways to grow your business using different tools that we have. And I took and broke them down to the individual tools because as I went through and watched her seminar, I realized that no agent out there has time to implement all of her strategies. It's a little bit overwhelming. But just like everything, instead of trying to eat the entire elephant, let's just find little bits that are in your wheelhouse that you can go after. And that's what I broke down right there. Open houses are included in that. Um, Really cool documents that I put together. And Steve came in and said, excellent.
It is good.
I
I went and
like
looked it
Jesse,
over.
Jason Smith, very nice. So, yeah, go check that out. When I do these breakdowns, I really do them for myself because when we sit in these seminars and listen to the speakers that Brent brings in, there's no way that you can absorb all of that um, in that moment, even if you take notes on it. But Brent, he puts it on YouTube. I download the transcripts. We go in, we use AI to break these down, and I share it with you guys. So I'm doing it for myself, but I'm sharing it with you so that you can have that as well. I did the same thing for Cabo over here. So for those of you that went to Cabo, or if you didn't go to Cabo, I broke down those sessions in there as well. Those are available on the school platform. Getting into where we are right now, Steve and I are really focusing on our daily executions. And one thing that Steve has always impressed with me is no lead left behind.
No lead left behind.
No lead left behind. If you get somebody that has raised their hand and opted in, which is huge in today's regulatory environment.
Don't want to lose them once you got them.
Well, and spam email, cold calling, spam text, all of this stuff is highly regulated now. But when you get somebody that raises their hand and says, yes, yes, I want information from you, this is what we're focusing on right now. We started off week one with the power hour. And what are those steps that you take at 9 a.m. to look at the activity within your database? Last week, we talked about speed to lead, and speed to lead in the context of it's not just about calling the lead, it's about calling the lead and using the tools within BoldTrail to add value.
Right.
So if somebody is come into you like overnight, I had 4 property boost leads come in. I haven't followed up with them yet, so I'm behind, and we'll get into that. But when you are calling, could you close that door? When you're calling, the how are you adding value? So if you're doing a property boost, like right now, I'm doing a property boost on a 3-acre property in Granite Bay, 2,200 square foot house. So I went in and created search alerts that are similar to those properties. So now the way I have it set up is when that property boost hits, they instantly get set up on that search alert. I know they're getting the information. So when I'm calling, I'm saying, hey, I'm just calling to let you know that this is the information on the property. I've also set up the search alert on other properties in the area. We're just trying to give you more information. Whatever your script is, the scripts are in here. I posted them in there. So that's really what we're focused on with these daily executions. Within this space, I know that we all have different ways of following up with our database. And to show you the effectiveness of this, when I go into mine, I actually got a little bit of anxiety here this morning because I really should be at home following up because I have um, all this activity that's happened overnight. And so obviously I need to call all of these leads and make sure that I'm loving on them and making sure they're getting the right information and so on and so forth. So that brings me to where we are today. There is a shift in, where's my PowerPoint? There's a shift in how we can follow up, and it comes down to um, the Streams app. So the Streams app, it's only available to iPhone users. And within Streams, it directly syncs with your BoldTrail. And now you can go in and it has this AI button in here. And within that AI button, you could prompt it to go in and search for activity within your database. Okay, I want to show you guys the significance of this because it kind of blew me away a little bit. When I'm looking at my activity, it's hard for me really to understand what activity is going on. I have this information over here as to what is happening, but there's never been a way to really microsort that information. It's been a point of frustration. You have the activity that's going on your desktop, but that is just the current activity of people searching for houses. When you go into your contacts, and I'll go into my demo database. Here we go. Um, we can go in here and we can look at activity that's going on with calls, emails, and texts. And we'll go into Brett Michael. Brett Michael was the lead singer of what? Wham? I
Wham.
think it was Wham. Within Brett Michael, the activity stream is not showing up. We're having connectivity issues here in the office. So
We have been working on Wi-Fi all week.
yeah, it's been a point of frustration. Let's go back and see if I can get into another one here. All right, so here's my point. Rodney James Dio. You see how he hasn't opened this email? You're looking for this activity. And prior to the Streams app, there was never really a way to see what this activity was within your database. So now going back to the Streams app, you can go in with this prompt and I'll have a list of prompts. I don't have them ready for today's presentation, but they'll be attached to this video when it hits the school platform. But you can go in and you can prompt it to search the database for specific activity that has gone on. And I put together this PowerPoint to just kind of illustrate this. So right now, if you were able to search your, and let me just say, this is given that we have a database of, a couple hundred.
I would say at least 200 to 300.
Yeah. So I realize not everybody on this call has that level of database, but a lot of people do. I'm working with agents all across the country right now that are coming to me going, I've never really database before, but I'm understanding the value of it. But within this, what I'm looking for is how can I prompt so that I can find the net 5 transactions in the next 90 days. And so within this, using the streams, um, you can look and browse using the Streams app and look for property views. And you can go in and say, show me who has viewed property in the last 10 days. You can do the same thing with saves and favorites. Because, for me, I have 3,500 in my database. Steve, I think you have 1,700. Should be more.
Should be more. Yeah,
We
but we have Andrew in the room that has 25,000, so we're all schmucks here.
And so Andrew and I are going to work together to get his BoldTrail up and going and really find those. And so the point is that you can go in and you can look for these signals, and you can look for return visit and email engagement. And you're looking for that activity. Another case in point, I do a weekly email to my database. I send it out through GoDaddy email marketing. I do that because the deliverability rate is much higher. Another reason I do it is because they give me all of that email marketing reporting. Who opened the email? How many times did they open it? What was my click-through rate? What links did they click on? Then when I get that information, I take it and I turn it into actionable items. I'll tell you, last week I had 9 people click on home valuation on my email. Those are 9 people I'm calling. Hey, I saw you were interested in your home evaluation. Even better, I go ahead and put together the home evaluation. I drive to their house and I drop it off. Hey, I saw you're interested in your home evaluation. Here it is. It gives you that
What
opportunity.
if you put it in a FedEx envelope and just set it on the porch?
You could.
There you go.
You could. What other ways could we send this out? I think the lowest impact is an email with it. But if someone's raising their hand like that, that's what you want. And those are the signals that we're looking for. And now with the Streams app, we're able to microsort our database in activities to see what those are. And so the other thing within this, and this is something that has come up, there are behavior automations within BoldTrail that are automatically kicking in when somebody views properties, viewed property in the last 12 days. You get notifications on that. Return visits. So if someone returns to your CRM and they haven't been active in 14 days, those are notifications. There's all of these different triggers within BoldTrail that you don't always have transparency on. But now with the Streams app, you can go in and you can search and say, show me everyone who has returned to the platform after not being on it for 14 days and engaging. And that way, again, you can say it signals you to call them. And when you get a massive database, I feel mine is a little bit overwhelming right now at 3,500. It becomes more and more important to be able to sort your data, sort the activity within your database to those that are actually interacting with it. I know it used to be that like one thing Brent talks about is you're going to call your A's, you're going to call your B's, and you're just going to work through your database and just make all those phone calls. That's a way of doing it. I'm not sure how effective that is. But now with the technology of this platform, along with AI, I think we're able to make those phone calls. I mean, for me personally, my goal is to speak to 5 contacts within my database every day, have conversations, not just making the phone calls, not just leaving emails, but actually having conversations. I think that is the absolute minimum goal we should all have. So Streams is your triage nurse. And so within this space, you're now able to use the Streams app to go in and really triage your CRM so that you can, again, see that activity. You can have it rank the behaviors. You can have it look at what those really hot leads are. They call them the fire leads within the database. And then the other thing it can do is it can remove those leads that are just clutter. So I've had I would say in the last 30 days, I've probably had 45 leads come in through Property Boost. And I would say 60% of them were not valid email address and phone number. So within BoldTrail, when it has a validation, and so when I'm in this and I'm validating lead owner, hashtag, should be right here, qualification. Anyway, it is here. Trust me, I just can't see it here off the top of my head. But it goes in and it validates the lead. And you want to look for those leads that are not validated because you just want to get rid of them. I get a lot of bogus leads that come in. A lot of times, what I'll do is I'll go in and I'll search the email address and the phone number to see where it came from. All of my leads right now are coming in through Facebook, and it's Facebook ads. And so every single one of the leads should be findable on Facebook.
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing with it. So when you're paying to do a property boost, or maybe you're doing Meta ads or Google ads, whatever it is, Steve and I were talking about, we're going to launch a big ad campaign and we're looking at cost per lead, cost per lead. Right now, I can tell you my cost per lead is $3.42. It's not bad. But with that said, I mean, it's basically a cup of coffee. And would I throw that cup of coffee away if I just bought it?
Nope.
I wouldn't. So when I get these leads in, I time block so that I can sit down and see if they are valid. And that way I'm not chasing ghosts out there. You know, if people aren't interested, I'm fine with it. Let's just move on. I'll put them into my weekly email database and I'll ping on them and maybe they'll come back to life. But if I get a hold of them, talk to them, understand where they are in the market, whatever the response is, if they're truly not interested, then I want to move on to the next one.
Yes, and the message is develop a larger database than you think so that you can look at the metrics of larger numbers. So it's not you have to squeeze every single lead. What you want to do is have enough raw material in your database so the people raise their hand.
That's
So
right.
when you're making outbound calls, the AI and the different things that this system will do for you will filter out the ones you should be putting energy into. So putting in a lot, it's a classic funnel. So we put them up here, and who's our better people to talk to? So just embrace the system and work with larger groups of
Father God, there's a
numbers.
Yeah.
spirit that is not mine, my energy field. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ.
There you go. So you can sort the streams in here. And again, you go back to this. And like right now, I have one person waiting for a response. But when I go into streams, it goes through and it sorts the streams for me. This is a challenging presentation for me to put on because as I've demonstrated, I have an active database. And as much as I love everybody here, I don't want to share my client contacts with you. And so typically I would have a screen recording of all this done, but it's my active database. And so right there, it's sorting the streams for me. And so within this, if I click on any one of these, I can, I'll show you real quick. Let's see what it comes up like. Yeah, so it shows all the contact information, so I can't really do that. But trust me when I tell you that you can email, text, or call directly from the Streams app. And if you wanted to write the email or text for you, Streams will do it for you. If you wanted to generate a script for you, it will do that so that when you're calling them, you know what to say. And the script is based on the activity that's gone on within their activity stream. And then it records it all in the contact activity stream so that you have a record of it. So it's the more I use Streams, the app, the more impressed I get. And so when you go in here and look, it has all of the different lead follow-ups that I need to do. And so it's separate from the AI, it's the streams. And like I say, the more I use it, the more impressed I get. I'm actually using it more than the desktop version of the app. Then I just use it more. I'm just in my streams doing all my lead follow-up. And so the 15-minute morning routine, again, we're giving you multiple ways to start your day using the tools within BoldTrail. Because I know that when I started using it, I would look at it and go, okay, what do I do? What do I do? And I think in real estate, we all need to have an action plan. You need to time block. You need to know what you're doing at each phase of the day. The agent that wakes up and has no plan can go down rabbit holes and get nothing done. I've done it many, many times. I'm sure, Steve, you've gone down that path as well.
Well, not having a plan is a plan. It's
Well,
just not the plan you want.
exactly. And so we're just open the streams. You got to review your top 5 to heat up those contacts. Take 5 minutes to do it. Decide, match each contact to one of the 4 actions, and we'll go over the actions, and then execute. When we get into the actions, and I'll share this slide deck on the when I post the videos. When you go in there and look at the actions to take, it's based on what activity has gone on within the database. And Steve is flagging me that I'm taking too long. So I'll go through this real quick. Again, I'll post this out there, but we go over different types of priorities on the different touches based on the activity that has gone on. For me, obviously, if someone's looking at property right now, that's a high priority touch. If they've just looked at a market report, maybe that's not as high of a priority. Return visits, we go in and really evaluate the return visits and what kind of response does that really warrant. And I will say that within this space, it really depends on how much of a relationship you've developed with that lead. At the end of the day, we're in the relationship business. Our end goal is to buy and sell houses, but it takes building that relationship. I call it the know, like, and trust. You don't go for the one-time close in our business. You can. I've done it a couple times, but most of the time you want to build that relationship. And so we go in and within this presentation, the AI can flag the contacts that they're indicating they need to be touched more often. And so that's another use of this AI tool. With AI, I've always focused on productivity. It's great to have these tools. And when did AI come out? In 22? Is that when it came out? Something like that. But in the beginning, it was like, oh, this is kind of cool. We can have conversations with it. But now that it's really maturing into productivity tools and the way they've integrated into BoldTrail, we really can use it to really hyper focus what our activities are. And that's really my main point of what we're doing here today, is, again, to go in, and I will get out of this. We go in, we open up the streams, and it's telling you the activities that you need to focus on. What I'm suggesting in this presentation are ways to micro sort those activities so that you can be more productive with it. So that's what I have for you guys today. I don't really have a lot of clicking buttons within the platform. I can't really share my streams with you because, again, I have an active database. But what I am trying to do is create a framework for agents to go in, start using the app. I know that using AI through this app can be intimidating because you just haven't done it before, but you can't mess anything up. You just got to go in and get your hands dirty and start using it, and you'll discover how powerful this is. I know that when I really started using it, it really was one of the reasons I did this presentation, because it really just kind of blew my mind. It's like, now I have all of this information, and now I'm time blocking, focusing on listings, focusing on buyers, focusing on general activity. And that way, when I do my follow-up, it's much more hyper focused.
All right, well, let's get some Q&A going. So at this point, guys, we're going to stop the recording here, and then we're going to give us a second. We're going to relight up the recording, and we're going to have a little short session for any Q&A you guys would like to have on this. And